Hello, everyone. I'm Elise as Another Truth here on YouTube, and I hope you're all doing well and you're taking great care of yourselves. Today, I want to discuss Katy Joy, also known as Katie Paulson, who runs the channel Without a Crystal Ball and goes by several other names. I want to acknowledge that this might be sensitive for some as it touches briefly on issues like suppression of voices, oppression, emotional dysregulation, the misuse of law enforcement, legal services, and other social services. I encourage you to assess your comfort level with this discussion. If you feel it might be too much for you right now, please know you can return whenever you're ready. There are no requirements or expectations here, just your willingness to engage. I completely understand that sensitive subjects can impact your emotional well being, and I want to emphasize that nothing I have to say is worth jeopardizing that. Please refer to the description box if you need any services or hotlines to reach those services. I want to emphasize that everything I share here is based on my own opinions and interpretations of the situation, so I encourage you to do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and make good, sound decisions based on what you find. Please refrain from engaging in harassment or threats towards Katy Joy or anyone in their circle. I don't condone that behavior, even if I don't particularly agree with her or like her. My primary concern is for those who may be negatively impacted by her creator and the ripple effects it does create. Now, it's intriguing how Katy Joy perceives her behavior as a form of triumph, even in situations that are anything but winning. I believe that enabling harmful behavior is not a sign of success, but rather a detriment to both the enabler and those affected. Enablement creates a toxic cycle where harmful actions go unchallenged, fostering an environment where individuals like Katy Joy can continue their destructive behavior unchecked. This not only harms those directly involved, but also undermines the integrity of the platform as a whole. Katy Joy's actions contribute to a chaotic environment on this platform, and if it feels like there's a broader conversation happening about how creators are allowed to express themselves. Enablement in this context manifests as a refusal to hold her accountable or to challenge the harmful narrative she perpetuates. This not only allows her to thrive, but also normalizes a disgusting culture of toxicity and intimidation that affects countless others. YouTube has changed significantly over the years since it started, and while I haven't been creating content for as long as others, I've heard many creators reflect on their experiences about it. My perspective might be different, but I recognize that I'm part of a long-standing dialogue about these issues. I don't believe my views hold superior weight. Others have articulated similar points long before I came along. So I don't feel a need to dominate the space with my own opinions. All of our opinions and contributions matter. Katy Joy seems intent on silencing criticism, often resorting to threats, takedowns, and fabrications, even if it involves law enforcement, to distract from legitimate concerns about her actions. This creates an environment where those who want to speak out against her face intimidation. The recent and unfortunate dismantling of the WOACB subreddit exemplifies this. She may have orchestrated its downfall, viewing it as a personal victory while disregarding the voice of those it served. While I lack definitive evidence of her direct involvement, the timing and circumstances surrounding the subreddit's slow demise are suspect. It's disheartening for those of us who use it as a platform for meaningful dialogue, and we had that right to that expression. I do not believe that anything that we stated went against the rules. I think this was an entire situation of Katy Joy's own doing, either by her or by people that she commanded to do her bidding. Her apparent campaign against creators who challenge her. highlights a troubling trend. She seems to have a so called hit list of individuals she targets for speaking out against her, and that includes tearing down subreddits, that includes interfering in law enforcement of people who need to have her investigated, which really didn't do much in the long run because the feds are investigating some things by the collection of certain emails. And hopefully that will all lead back to her. But if not, it will certainly lead back to the people who are directly responsible for this. Katy Joy's recent actions, including false copyright strikes against content creators, reflect another pattern of behavior that raises serious ethic concerns that is ignored by social media platforms. And it's something that is completely out of our control. I don't think it's healthy for anyone to focus solely on her downfall, but I'm committed to speaking out against her actions as necessary. It's vital for her to understand that she can't control the narratives or opinions of her critics. No amount of manipulation will erase her past or the issues she's created in that past to the current situation. No amount of scrubbing, pretending to be nice, polishing herself, dismantling her own accounts will ever um, prevent her from facing consequences for her actions, whether it's now or years down the road. If there are investigations into her actions, it's likely that the truth will eventually come to light, especially if there are any attempts to manipulate the law. Her efforts to undermine others and manipulate the narrative um, only serve to highlight her precarious position. She does have a hearing in November. And when I talked about those wins that she thinks she has, she doesn't understand that this is a system with many different working pieces involved in it. It's not just about us versus them. And unfortunately, a lot of this is out of our control. And Katy Joy thinks that this is within her grasp, and it isn't. It also highlights the fact that she thinks in a world that that it's entirely surrounded by her. Regarding the situation with Cactus Bill, it seems she's included her on her list of targets. Her actions warrant serious consequences, and the false claims she makes could ultimately lead to her own downfall. It's troubling that Katy Joy seems to thrive in chaos and drama, using it to gain sympathy or attention, even while her actions result in harm. And, luckily for Cactus Bill, Katy Joy's attempts at destroying her hasn't worked. It should have backfired, actually. In navigating these issues, it's important to remember, again, that the legal system is intricate and outcomes can be unpredictable at times, or seemingly so. While I don't claim to be a legal expert, I understand that there are many layers to these situations. Katy Joy may misrepresent outcomes to her audience to paint a false picture of success, but this is where it comes down to her viewers, the legitimate ones, not the ones that she purchased, to decide if this is somebody they want to be entangled with. In the end, it's crucial to approach the situation with nuanced understanding. Life is rarely black and white, and I believe, in my opinion, we must remain aware of those complexities at play. We shouldn't put our trust and faith into one person to make everything okay with us. Sometimes it is just a matter of us having our say and speaking up for ourselves. Don't lose hope if it seems like things are going her way. Sometimes apparent setbacks can indicate deeper issues, but it doesn't mean she's winning. I appreciate you all for being here and engaging in this important conversation. I appreciate it and I look forward to your follow up commentary. Let's continue to hold her and even each other accountable and support one another as we navigate this difficult time. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.